tell us
How many
your
sexual
body
partners
count.
have you had?
Ooh. So like my body count?
No shit, bitch.
How many sexual partners have you had?
Oh, fuck.
Like in my life or recently? Ha!
Declining.
Damn, grandma.
Yeah, we might have to skip that one.
I'm not gonna answer.
How many sexual partners have I had?
Well, y'all their brother, ain't it?
Answer.
I think I already said this shit before.
Yeah, we might have to skip that one.
I'm not gonna answer.
How many sexual partners have I had? A lot.
Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna lie to you. Probably couldn't count, but
Damn,
I will
what
say
the
it's less than 15.
Who's more likely to lie, men or women?
Both. I think both are liars.
How many sexual partners
It's
have
a
you
good
had?
answer.
What's your number?
0. 0.
So that would be a none. I've had my dick sucked, but other than that, kisses, nothing more than that.
I had 3 girlfriends.
You had 3 girlfriends?
Yeah.
What is the age? Tell me this. What is the age limit until you have to you have to have pussy? Like you have to have sex. Like if you're like 21, that's like borderline. I say that's not borderline. I say if you hit 25, my nigga, and you haven't had no pussy yet, you just gotta pay for that shit, my nigga. Just get that shit out of the way. Just pay for that shit. You gotta have that shit on your belt before you die because I don't know. I don't want to say nothing else extreme, but you got it like 25 and no pussy. That shit crazy.
Yeah, does that count?
Well, have you ever had sex?
No.
How many people have you slept with?
One?
Just one, actually.
One.
One.
Just one.
1. I know there's like a stigma about girls having like high body counts, and like that's really scary. That's probably one of the things that stopped me from like allowing it to climb any higher.
Not long ago, it used to be a negative thing to have a lot of partners, and now when you don't have a lot of partners, people just immediately think, oh wow, she's a prude, or she's probably really judgmental.
It really go both ways. I'm still like a bitch, but it really go both ways. Cause nowadays, if a bitch have more than 20 bodies and she's 21, I'm gonna say she gets down and get busy. But if she don't have a lot of bodies, I'm not gonna say shit and be like, oh, she just keep that shit tight, you know?
How many sexual partners have you had?
2.
2.
2.
2. 3.
3.
3 people total. My partner, and then we've had a foursome with 2 friends.
What the
My friend, she keeps a list, and I was like, I should probably start keeping a list. But then it's just a list of 3 people, so.
I actually have a list on my phone. Oh, I have a list?
I actually keep a list.
The 3
She
people,
got a list?
so.
I actually have a list on my phone. Oh, I have a list?
I actually keep a list.
What are you getting at? Do you have a list?
I do. Is that bad?
You gotta track the history in case something happens.
How many people have you slept with?
4.
4, I believe. 4 or 5. 1, I don't think counts.
I hate when bitches do that shit too. If that dick went in that pussy, that shit counts, my nigga. I ain't gonna lie to you. So stop. If it just shit went in for a little second, bitch, I don't care if the little tip went in, bitch. That shit count.
Because it was like 30 seconds, not even, maybe like 2 seconds.
How do you feel about your number?
I feel like my number could actually be higher, which I feel like is a weird response.
I kind of wished I had a little more experience.
Do you wish you had a higher number?
I mean, I like sex, so yes.
I don't wish the number was lower, but I do wish I hadn't had sex with certain people.
Do you regret sleeping with any of them?
Yes. Yeah. It was like a jackhammer. I was being jackhammered into the bed. It was awful.
Some of them have been weird and like awkward. Like I had sex once and the power went out and it was like 100 degrees and we were like sweating into each other's mouths and not in like a sexy way.
You regret sleeping with any of them?
No, it was all an experience. It makes me who I am today. But to be selfish, yes. Y'all didn't deserve me.
Have you regretted any?
I do wish that I was a virgin.
I got saved, and then I got with my husband. So I've only had 1 sexual partner in this new life of mine.
I feel like I paraded
Wait.
my...
We're not finna just skip past like you just didn't. What? So she said she got saved. If people don't know what that means, saved in the Christian aspect, I don't know if it's in other religions, but in the Christian aspect, you get saved, you're brought into a new life. So she's trying to say in her old life, she's trying to skip past her old life like she just wasn't fucking going crazy.
I got saved.
Look.
And then I got with my husband. So I've only had one sexual partner in this new life of mine.
I feel like I paraded my purity around for a really long time, and then I was sexually assaulted, and I was like, God, I guess that doesn't really matter. And so then I just paraded my sexuality around.
How many sexual partners have you had?
I don't know what the hell she's talking about.
5.
5 sexual partners at this point in my life.
6.
Between 6 and 15.
How the fuck you don't know
Because
that?
you don't know exactly.
Girls gotta have some secrets.
More than 7, less than 15.
More than 10, and
How the fuck do y'all not know exactly how many people y'all? That's when I know that y'all been fucking around like that. Because if you don't know how many people you slept with, I can see if you missed by off like one or two numbers. But from 7 to 15 or 10 to 15, how the fuck you don't know?
and less than 20.
What are the stereotypes around numbers?
You know, men are studs if they sleep around, the women are sluts.
You got the high numbers, kind of a hoeing around, been around the block a couple of times, had a hoe chapter.
Right now I'm like very heartbroken and like I'm in kind of like a hoe era.
I had like a little hoe phase.
Have a hoe phase, like just do it.
I definitely had like a bit of a phase, but I've kind of grown out of that phase. I don't think it necessarily reflects who I am as a person.
I'd say a lot of it was like trying to find love and find acceptance through sexual intimacy.
A lot of it was meaningless. Some of it was coping with heartbreak from someone else.
How many sexual partners have you had?
Maybe 20.
20. How do you feel about that number?
Not proud. There is some shame built in. I'm worried about judgment and what other people think of me based on it.
When you hear a higher number, you probably think that this person has a higher chance of like contracting an STD.
Nobody wants like
Who the fuck thinks that shit?
I don't think that's the right way to think. I think that's just society.
There are a lot of people that will have high numbers deliberately for sexual empowerment, which I honestly am super supportive of.
I am a slut. I enjoy being sexually open and promiscuous, but I also don't just like jump into things.
Hold up.
Sexually open and promiscuous, but I also don't just like jump into things.
How many people have you slept with?
20 and 40, somewhere in the 20 and 40
What the
range.
fuck? See, that's what I'm talking about. How do you not know? But you said between 20 and 40. How do you not know? How is that a big ass gap between that shit? I don't get it.
Over 50 and lost count.
The number I stopped counting was probably around 50, and then I just felt like I just did not care to know the number anymore. And if you're my boyfriend watching this, like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
How many sexual partners have you had? What's your body count?
Probably 50.
How do you feel about that number?
I'm okay with that. I'm not willing to just like go home with anyone anymore, which is something I feel like I used to have a bit of a problem with.
I used to be very self-conscious
feel like
about
it?
my number when it was low. There's a lot of pressure in society to be the person that's having sex with a lot of people.
Whenever I was younger, I thought like having this higher number like meant something. But yeah, as I grew, I was like, yeah, that's not really for me.
How many sexual
He
partners?
definitely do shrooms.
60 to 70 at this point.
You feel good about your number?
There's always room for more, but at this point I'm content.
Somewhere around 70. I also want to put an asterisk that for me, sex is any time I've given or received pleasure using like my genitals with another person.
How many sexual partners have you had?
Define sex.
It depends on how you define it. Most people, like my friends, are defined by body count, by like penetration.
In the gay world, I think that you include oral, because sometimes it's the only thing we can do.
I'd say it's not sex unless something's going in a hole.
Like PIV.
I've had sexual experiences with a number of people. It's not just a penis going in something.
Sex to me is oral sex.
Sex to
and
me,
also like
sex to me would be both. It would be like, but when I'm thinking about body count, I'm thinking about penetration. Put it like that.
digits. Like if you know, you penetrate with fingers, I feel like that's sex.
How many sexual partners have you had?
I'm gonna say at least 100, and that includes like oral, anal, like maybe over 150.
Is it sex if the penis is in you, but like it's not hard? What
Yes.
if you put a spoonful of ice cream in your mouth and then you take it out, but you don't eat it? Then did you really have ice cream?
Yes, you did.
What's your body count?
I
like, you know what? At this point, the limit does not exist.
Hey, my name is Caitlin. I'm a producer at Cut.
Caitlin, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry, Caitlin. But yeah, we finna get that was a little warm up. That was a little warm up to get to the hot shit. The hot